What if I told you that you could boost your creativity and sharpen your focus without grinding any harder? Well, the secret isn't more work. Today, we're diving into the incredible power of intentional rest. So let's just start with a big question. What if our whole idea of hustle is, well, completely backward? What if the real key to doing better work isn't about pushing through those long hours, but actually about strategically stepping back? Because, really, the secret isn't about adding more hours to your day, it's about adding more intelligence to your downtime. We're about to see how intentional rest isn't some luxury, but a fundamental tool for success. Okay, let's get right into this big, counterintuitive secret. It's an idea that really challenges the foundation of how we think about work culture. And it all starts by questioning if being busy all the time is really a good thing. I mean, we're all surrounded by hustle culture, right? This idea that being constantly busy is some kind of badge of honor. And in that world, rest gets a really bad rap. It's seen as laziness, maybe a lack of ambition. But what if that whole myth is what's actually holding us back? This is where we need to completely reframe the conversation. Where hustle culture sees laziness, we should be seeing a strategic asset. What it calls wasted time, that's actually essential brain maintenance. And where it sees weakness, we need to recognize that that's the very fuel that drives real, sustainable success. And look, this isn't just some nice theory. It's actually backed by science. Chronic overwork doesn't just make us tired, it actively hurts our ability to think clearly. So let's take a look at what's really going on inside your brain when you finally give it a break. First off, rest helps consolidate your memories. When you pause, your brain gets to work. It starts replaying recent events, strengthening all those neural connections related to what you've just learned. It's literally like hitting the save button on your day, moving all that crucial info into long-term storage. And this process, well, it directly strengthens learning. You see, those breaks you take between focused work sessions, they aren't empty time at all. That's when your brain is busy cementing new skills. Without that downtime, all that new knowledge just stays kind of weak and temporary. And this part is just fascinating. Rest actually fuels problem solving. Have you ever had a brilliant idea just pop into your head while you're in the shower? That's your brain's default mode network kicking in. When you stop focusing so hard on a problem, this network goes to work, connecting all these different ideas, and that's what leads to those creative breakthroughs, those amazing aha moments. So the crucial point here is this. Thinking of rest as wasted time is kind of like a mechanic saying that oil changes are a waste of time. It's essential maintenance that keeps the whole system running smoothly and effectively. Okay, so if rest is so crucial, what does it actually look like? When we talk about this, we're not just talking about taking a nap or zoning out on the couch. We're talking about something way more active and deliberate. This brings us right to the core concept here, intentional rest. It's a deliberate, conscious act. And that word intentional is everything. It means you are actively choosing to do something specifically to recharge your batteries, whether they're mental or physical. And this kind of rest can take so many different forms. It could be just a few minutes of mindful breathing, a short walk outside, or maybe getting lost in a creative hobby you love. It might even mean a deliberate digital detox, or just some simple stretching. The whole key is finding what truly, genuinely recharges you. Okay, so now we know why rest matters and what it is. Now we get to the most important part. How do we actually build it into our lives? Let's jump into some really practical strategies. Building your own rest ritual is actually a pretty simple 4-step process. First, just identify what you need. Are you mentally drained or are you physically tense? Second, choose a form of rest that matches that need. Third, and this is so important, schedule it. Seriously, put it in your calendar and protect that time just like you would any important meeting. And finally, and this is maybe the hardest step for a lot of us, you have to release the guilt. Remember, this isn't a weakness, it's fuel. When you start to build these little rituals into your life, the effects go so far beyond just productivity. This is really about discovering the true power of rest and how it shapes a healthier, more resilient you. The impact is absolutely holistic. You'll start to experience lower stress levels, a better mood, and you'll build so much more resilience for when you face challenges. This is how you actually become more creative and focused. Rest doesn't take you away from your goals. It brings you closer to them. So if there's one single shift in perspective to take away from all this, it's this. Stop seeing rest as an indulgence, something you only earn after you're completely burned out. Start treating it as a fundamental tool you need to perform at your very best. So, at the end of the day, the big takeaway is this. Rest isn't about slowing down or falling behind. It's the process of sharpening your edge so that when you do engage, you are clearer, sharper, and more effective than you've ever been before. So I'm going to leave you with a little challenge. Based on everything we've covered, what is one small, intentional rest practice that you can build into your schedule today? Just think about it, give it a try, and see how it changes your energy.